Well, today's report is a little more grim than the prior day's reports. But let me grab my bits and bobs and I'll... Ooh, there's a lot of cats running. Anyway, hold on. I'm heading over, Pud.
What?
I'm heading over.
Okay.
I like giving Michael the high sign. Then I'm trudging my way across. So, we'll do a little tour. So, it's beautiful. The house is a mess, but it's still beautiful. It's so great to be here. And I just trudge our way across. Here's the wall, which looks like it's holding, except you can see these gigantic holes. The blocks are falling. It's like, I'm sure Ramesses felt the same way all those years ago. Anyway, so, I'm trudging my way through the woods. I have to remember to keep the cell phone looking up higher because I noticed it was missing the things that I was thinking it was seeing, because the angle was wrong. But anyway, so what happened today, we had another night of storms, and all the solid areas of Freddie's Breech have turned to slurry. And so when I got over here, it was a nightmare. And the holes yesterday, this is all yesterday, the holes were filled with water, all my excavation points. Not unlike this one here, which we have a view of right now. And you can see George's bathtub in the background. They're all filled up with water. So that's, and here we are. This is a disaster. I almost stopped and decided to try to do something here today, but I just don't think I can. I have to figure out where I can put my energy, try to keep my energy going. Here we are crossing the wall between beautiful Flat Pond and gorgeous Mystery Pond. And so I came over here today, and the first thing, let me start over again. We'll look at the spill pipe. Spill pipe is pouring really nicely, flowing through. So today I went to Walmart and Tractor Supply Company and Lowe's in my search for additional weapons for my arsenal. Now, here you have Freddie's Breech. That black thing there is called a silt fence. Sorry, I'm taking a bug out of my eye. Silt fence. Right here, this innocuous looking area was a huge beehive that I unearthed earlier today and got quite badly stung. Thank goodness I'm not allergic to bee stings, or I'd probably be dead now. But I'm not, so there. Now this, you can see I put one big rock in here, but all of this has become just squishy goo. And we have just had this rain on rain on rain. We had a huge rainstorm while I was at Walmart, Lowe's, and the Tractor Supply Company. And we have had another one since then, plus attack of the killer bees in between. So I've had quite a day. However, right here, this point right here was where the main flow-through of water was. And this new sandbag that I'm touching with my foot, that is covering the aperture that was allowing the flow to go through here. Can you see how squishy it is? And it's raining. It's raining right now. So I've got killer bees. I've got more rain than I can shake a stick at. And everything that was solid yesterday is underwater. I've got a little bit of a stump here. But you can see, it's just, it was solid yesterday. It's very disconcerting. However, the good news is that I found this little boat in our shed. It only has one hole in it, but I don't think that's going to affect anything. And over here, you see that red rake? It's a new addition to my arsenal of equipment, and I'm using that to dredge up out of flat pond the goo from the bottom that then I'm going to chuck in here. Now, the other really interesting part, I need to put down my bucket supply here. The other interesting thing is this little white thing. I hope you can see it. I'm going to pan up and I'm going to pan down because I'm never quite sure what you're seeing. That is a submersible filter run on batteries. Now, the water that's, I'm going to step over here, right here, this was all completely, totally underwater earlier. And that little guy has been sucking the water out of here. It's been amazing. It was $35 or $37 or something at Lowe's. And I wasn't even sure what I was looking for when I found that. But over here, you can see this has a lot of water in it. This had a foot and I'd say a foot and a half of water in it. It was like this one is. Which this one here, this little pond, and this one over here have now become frog ponds. There are actually frogs living in the areas that I've excavated. I think that's great. I love frogs. I'm a big fan of frogs. But anyway, look, this is what my sled looks like as I'm doing my, oops, starting to get some bugs on me, as I'm doing my hauling through. So my next chore is to fill this area right here, this watery area right here is going to be filled in, because now what I did was I took the pry bar over here to this area, right over here, if you can see. This is where the beehive is. You can still see a couple bees flying around. And I took the pry bar and I chopped through the ground to break it up. And then I took this other thing, which is over here. It's called a roughneck, of course. I knew that. And you see what it looks like? It's heavy. Oh, it's maybe 10 pounds on the end of this thing. And it's great because you can just pound the ground, and it crunches everything down. So if I take the pry bar to start out with, and I smash the earth to pieces, I break it up, which this right here was a big channel coming through. This is the channel right here. There's a sandbag that fills it. This was the channel. And this guy, when I broke it up with a pry bar and then I used the other thing, the smasher mechanism, I pounded the fuck out of it, and it closed it up. And there's still leakage, but you know what? It's water. It's going to leak. But I'm making progress. And over here, it's like hugely, hugely helpful to know that I'm actually reducing the amount of water in that backwater. So it's not where water is flowing through. And you can see my roll of silt fencing, which I'm going to continue on over the top. But I feel like I'm getting a grip on it. If I just could be here. It's Sunday. I've got Monday. I've got Tuesday. It's a lot to do, but I'm going to do as much as I can. But now, my next part is that I'm gonna get into this dinghy. I've got a teeny little dinghy just meant for. I'm going to get into this little teeny dinghy, and I'm going to start using this brand new, not the Shrake, but that new pronged instrument, and I'm going to heave muck into this dinghy, and then once I've done that, I'm going to start to fill in the gap there. You can see it's getting smaller and smaller. I mean, when I look at, back to where I was when I was where I was, it's great. I'm doing really well. And you can see that Freddie's breech is really pretty good shape. A lot to do, though. So much to do. I don't know if you can see in the distance there with this camera. I'm not sure you can see. But you see the log that's in the water? Remember that log came down, you wanted to cut that apart all those years ago? It has become the most favorite spot in the spring for all the ducks. The ducks sit on it. And now, in the summer, it's covered with turtles. The other morning, Friday afternoon or Saturday morning, we had 6 turtles on that log, all lined up in a little row like soldiers, and they love it. So, glad we never dragged that guy out of there. So, anyway, that's my story. There will be more later. Indubitably. And there you have it. It could be nicer than that.